Hello, Vera. We're attending to our own business today because the British government are like every other government, filled with fucking shit. Filled with fucking shit that's got high ideas about what they are because they have dealings with the law. Listen, I have dealings with toilet paper. It doesn't mean that it's worth anything in my life. All right, okay, well, you've heard about that, haven't you? All right, well, you know, when Stephanie's Michael, sounds very common. She doesn't get very much respect for the things that she's saying. But the spirit of the communication is there. Now, Michael's tiered us in three different tiers. Cara is upper crust and moves in royal circles. I'm acceptable to ordinary circles as long as I keep myself smartish looking. And Stephanie hangs about with the ordinary townsfolk and speaks to them. I'm acceptable to local government perhaps, and some of the politicians, and Cara's respectable to SIS and to the Queen, and Stephanie's respectable to some of the church and the ordinary folk. And so we've got three different class levels of Michael here, and we all communicate in the same manner, which is our own. But the spirit of the communication is Michael. It doesn't matter what you say. You could be saying something very crude and the message is exactly the same, or you could be making it floral and as if it's something that the Queen might say, but the message is the same thing, and this is what we're doing here. Michael doesn't want anybody to think that I am him, or Stephanie's him, or Cara's him. Okay, so he's got a broad range here. He's got two females and a male, and he's got three different classes, and he wants people to understand his spirit. He doesn't want his spirit too closely associated with any particular individual. So I've got a role to play, which is a leading role, which is necessary for the other two girls, because they need it. Because the girls here are trafficked like you. You know what happens to a girl, Vera? You know, they get to traffic, they get forced to do all kinds of things that they don't want to do. To some extent, I'm free of that, being a male, and that is why it's important that they're not able to put me into that hospital or into a jail cell, because the other two are dependent on me taking the tip of the spear. You know, that the people want to blunt the tip of the spear. What they do not want is me out of action with a lot of attention. Okay. Anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about is that you're not allowed to England, obviously. I know you've been trafficked to Paris because you've been to the Moulin Rouge and all that. I've heard about that, okay? I've watched the film a couple of times. I like the song. But I went to Paris once, and I stayed at a 3-star hotel. And I've stayed at 5-star hotels as I travel sometimes. When I travel, what I used to do, I used to get when you knew me travelling through Eastern Europe, I used to hit a town very weary at the end of the day. Sometimes I walked more than 20 miles with a bag that was too heavy because I had too many things in it, and my feet were aching. And I'd take the first hotel that I saw, and it was almost always a big 5-star hotel that was obvious. I'd get in there, and then I'd look around for something cheaper if I was going to stay in the area, on the next day. But anyway, I stayed at a lot of 5-star hotels, but this